Hey BookTube, how's it going? If you're new to me and this is the first time you're seeing my face, hello, what's up? My name's Jackie. I sit on my floor and I talk about books. So I hope that's why you're here, because that's what's gonna be happening today. If you're not new to me, thank you for always tuning in and the continued support. I really do appreciate it. So today for you, I have a yearly repeat video. This is a video I do once a year, and it's come around for that time again, and that is my self-destruct list. If you're not familiar with my self-destruct list, it is a list of books that I cultivate once a year that I'm giving one last final shot to, and if I don't read it within that year, then I have to leave my house. I've done this for a few years now, and I've had some minimal success with it. It's still something fun for me to do and help me kind of go through and decrease my books, especially the ones that are not hitting it. So if you'd like to find out what is on my self-destruct list for 2025, grab yourself a drink, have yourself a seat, let's get talking some books. Okay, so the way this video is going to be broken down is the first half of it is going to be going over last year's self-destruct list. These are the books that I put on my 2024 self-destruct list, and here's the video here, you can go check it out. And I'm going to be going over them, telling you if I read them, what I thought of them, if I got to them, and all that jazz. Once we've gone through that segment, then I'm going to be going into my 2025 list, the books that are now getting one last shot. And if I don't read them by pretty much St. Patrick's Day, that's usually my cutoff, in 2026, then they will also be leaving my house. And then the third part of this video, I have an actual genuine unhaul. These are books that I've just been going through and I'm just like, I'm not reading this. I don't want it in my house anymore, or I did read it. I don't care. Since I'm getting rid of books, I figured I just do this all in one big foul swoop. So all of those areas are going to be hyperlinked in the down box below. So if there's a place you just want to jump to, feel free, no holds barred. But we're going to start off with 2024's self-destruct list. And the first book I have here is A Little Life by Yana Hanagahara. This thing is a beloved book here on BookTube. It was beloved for years. It's also a heart-wrencher. I don't know a single person who's read this book that did not like cry their eyes out and bawl. And let's just be honest. I got like through 25, 30 pages of it the first time I went to read it. And I just was not in the right mental state to continue reading it, because I feel like it's one of those books you have to be in the right state of mind to really appreciate and get, because of some of the themes that are within the pages of this book. We've got, I believe there's self-harm in this. I believe there's suicide in this. A lot of mental health issues. So I just was not in the right headspace to read this book. And I thought maybe I would eventually get into it. And I never did. Also, this thing is stupid huge. So it takes up space. I put it on my self-destruct list, and I'm just going to be honest, I never got to it. I never had a desire to pick it up. I never had the want to rip my heart out, because if I want to rip my heart out, there are other books out there that I know I'm going to still be taken care of when they rip my heart out. That one right there. Yeah, right there. So I can just go to those. I had plenty of other books that I think could have gave me the same feel and not be this fucking chunky. I'm sad to see it go, because it is such a beloved book, but I tried it and I never picked it up in 2024 at all. I tried it beforehand, it got put on this list, and I just never went back to it. So, bye-bye. The next book is a book that has appeared on the self-destruct list twice. It got a reprieve, it got a Hail Mary pass, and I tried it, and I DNF'd this fucker. And that is The Suicide Exhibition by Justin Richards. I thought this was gonna be a slam dunk for me. This is World War II with aliens. I genuinely thought I was going to have a grand time with this book. I did not. I made it through, I think, to like the first 100 pages, and I was just, what the fuck? I was not hitting. It just was not hitting for me. And I was like, I'm done. I genuinely did try it, but it went bye-bye. So the Hail Mary pass did not work out. No touchdown scored. Thanks. The next book that was on the list was John Boyne's The Time Thief. I never touched this. I just never got to it. Which is kind of shocking, because all these books are like, besides Little Life, historical fiction, and you think I would have delved right into it, but I genuinely forgot about it. I just forgot. That's the reason I do this list, is because these are books that I've seen and I think, yeah, I should read that, but they just don't stay in my mind when I'm thinking about books. I have to actively look at this list, be like, yeah, I want to read that. Yeah, I want to read that. And I just genuinely forgot about this one. It didn't stick out in my mind. The title, the cover, nothing. And so it's just going to go by. It's going to go by. The next book also got a Hail Mary pass and did not make it. That's Ted Decker's 80/30. I have read Ted Decker before. I like Ted Decker. I just didn't fucking get to it. This is the first installment to a duology. Experience the way of Jesus you never have. I just had no desire to pick it up at the time. So it's out of here. It's bye. It's going to go find a home somewhere else with someone who will appreciate it, because it's not being appreciated on my shelves. It's just taking up space. Sorry, Ted. And the last book that is going to say goodbye, and this one is the one that kills me. This fucking kills me. All right. I have been holding on to this book for a long time, and I genuinely tried reading it at the end of last year. And I could have gotten through it, but I just wanted to read other things. I don't know if I'm not smart enough for this book. It's not that I didn't understand it, but god damn. I mean, I had to really change my reading habit to read this book, and I didn't want to change that much. It just, what I read, I enjoyed, but this was just a lot of work. This was just a lot of work book, and I just was not having it anymore. And that is Roberto Bologna's 2666. I've held on this thing for a long, long time, and it's just not gonna work. So it's going to leave. It's going to leave. I tried it. I wanted to love it. I wanted to sink my teeth into it. It was not in the cards for me. It just wasn't. And this one probably is the one that's breaking my heart the most, because I almost gave this another reprieve. I almost gave this a Hail Mary pass. I almost did. But it's just, damn. I don't want to say goodbye. I hate doing this fucking video. Ugh. This happens to me every time I do this video. I'm like, oh, I don't really want to get rid of the book. Damn it. Ugh. It's gonna go. It's gone. It's gone. That was painful. Oh my god, that was painful. That hurt. The next book, I really want to give this a Hail Mary pass. I really want to give this one. Just because I feel like this is something that if I can get over it, I would genuinely like it. And that is The First Ravenmocker by Courtney Miller. I picked this up for a book club a few years ago, and I couldn't pronounce half the names in it. But it's it's Native American fiction, and it's also witchy, and it's got that vibe to it. And I feel like it's something that I would love if I just sat down and really got behind it. So I think I'm going to give this a Hail Mary pass. I think it's going to stay. Hail Mary pass. We're going to see it one more year. Yeah, one more year. We shall see. We shall see. And the next book, I I can't remember if I gave this book a Hail Mary pass last year or not, but it's getting one this year because I just can't let go of this book. It's too fucking pretty. That's The Immortal Muse by Stephen Lee. This is literally Jackie in a book. It's historical fiction. It goes through so many different time periods. Look at this. I can't. I just can't let go of this book. I can't. This might be my kryptonite book because it's super fucking pretty. It's one of the prettiest books I own. And I just, I love looking at this cover. And I feel like I will like this book if I ever sit down and read it. So, Hail Mary pass, guys. Hail Mary pass. Again. So, here are my 2 Hail Mary passes from 2024's list. They get one more shot. This one, you know, the second Hail Mary. We're going to overtime with this guy, okay? Overtime. OT. We'll see what happens. So, there you go. All right. So, that was 2024's list. Here are the ones that are leaving my home. Give one last look to them. Roberto Bologna's 2666. I can't believe I'm actually getting rid of this book. Like, that is a full circle moment for me, okay? A Little Life by Yana Hanagahara. Suicide Exhibition by Justin Richards. John Boyne's The Time Thief. And then Ted Decker's 80/30. It's time to say goodbye. Go find home somewhere else. Now, for this year's list, when I was going through this, there were some books that I was just like, yeah, we'll throw it on there. My self-destruct lists are never very large. That's the one thing I try to do, is I try to actually look at books that I will possibly give another chance to. If I don't think I'm ever going to give another chance to it, I just get rid of it. But there are some books where I'm like, maybe. So that's why these lists are kind of small. So we do have our 2 Hail Mary passes that are being put onto the 2025 list, Immortal Muse and The First Ravenmocker. So they are on that list. And here are the new arrivals. All right, so the first one we have here is Sally O'Reilly's Dark Amelia. This is historical fiction about Shakespeare's Dark Lady, his muse, his mistress. And I love Shakespearean literature. I am a huge fan of Shakespeare. So I thought this would be something pretty interesting. It also seemed something up Jackie's alley. I've had this book for quite a long time. It's one reason why it's on this list, is because I've had it for a long time. So I'm going to read you the inside so you don't actually know what this book is about. A tale of sorcery and passion in 17th century London, where witches haunt William Shakespeare and his Dark Lady, the playwright's muse and one true love. It's a witchy book, son of a bitch. Well, there's a thumbs up for it right there. The daughter of a Venetian musician, Amelia Bassano, came of age in Queen Elizabeth's royal court. The queen's favorite, she developed a love of poetry and a learning, maturing into a young woman known not only for her beauty, but also her sharp mind and quick tongue. Amelia becomes the mistress of Lord Hudson, but her position is precarious. Then she crosses paths with the impetuous playwright named William Shakespeare and begins an impassioned but ill-fated affair. A decade later, the queen is dead, and Amelia Bassano is now Amelia Lanier, fallen from favor and married to a fool. Like the rest of London, she fears the plague, and when her young son, Henry, takes ill, Amelia resolves to do anything to save him, even if it means seeking help from her strange lover, Will, or worse, making a pact with the devil himself. Sounds promising. So, it's on the list. We'll give it one more shot. The next book is going to come as a shock. Don't come for me. I bought this book because I wanted to give this series a try, because Prime was turning this series into a television show, and I watched the first couple episodes, and I didn't really get it. I didn't really get into it either. And that is the Wheel of Time series by Robert Jordan, Eye of the World. This is the first installment. A chunky time commitment of a series. I know this is a beloved fantasy series. I know, guys. Don't come for me. That's why it's on the list. It gets one more shot for me to give it a try. Okay, I get it. But it's also a fat book. It takes up space. I need the space. I got books that need to go on the shelves because they're just being piled up in a wall in my room right now. So I need space. So big books were on the chopping block this year. And this is one of them. But I'm willing to hold on to it one more year and see if I can give it a shot. So there you go. The Eye of the World, Robert Jordan, first installment to the Wheel of Time series. So there you go. I know a lot of people have read this series. A lot of people love this series, but it is an old school fantasy series. So there's definitely things in here that I probably won't agree with, but oh well, shit happens. So there we go. It's on the list. The next one, another beloved book in the book community and on BookTube. Please don't come for me. This was on my 12 and 24 list last year, and I never touched it. So that's why it earned a spot on this list, and that is the Poppy War by R.F. Kuang. This is the first installment to the Poppy War trilogy. I wanted to pick this book up. This is Asiatic military fiction. She's a peasant, she's a student, she's a soldier, and she's a goddess. When Rin aced the Keiju, the empire-wide test to find the most talented youth to study at the academies, it was a shock to everyone to test the officials. It was a shock to everyone. Sorry, I can't read today, apparently. To test the officials who couldn't believe a war orphan from Rooster Province could pass without cheating. To Rin's guardians, who always thought they'd be able to marry Rin off to further their criminal enterprise, and to Rin herself, who realized she was now finally free of the servitude and despair that made up her daily existence, that she got into Singard, the most elite military school in the Nakara Empire, was even more surprising. But surprises aren't always good. Being a dark-skinned peasant girl from the south is not as easy thing in Singard. Rin is targeted from the outset. I can't read today. I'm gonna quit on trying to read today. God damn it. By rival classmates because of her color, poverty, and gender. Driven to desperation, she discovers and possesses a lethal, unearthly power, an aptitude for the nearly mythical art of shamanism, exploring the depths of her gift with the help of a seemingly insane teacher and psychoactive substances. Okay. Rin learns that gods long thought dead are very much alive, and that mastering control over her powers could mean more than just surviving school. It sounds like something I would love. I know a lot of people love this book. It's a very gory book and very militaristic, which I do love both of those attributes. So I feel like if I do pick this up, I will enjoy it, but it has already been on a TBR that it must read by the end of the year, and I didn't fucking read it. So maybe if I put it on this list, it'll happen. I don't know, guys. I don't know. But it's there. And the last addition to the 2025 list is a book that I read for the Black Hat Book Coven, and I did not finish it. I did not DNF it. I just did not finish it. When I DNF something, I'm never picking it up again. I read probably the first chapter, I think, of this book, and literally everybody in my book club hated it. Hated this fucking book. Except Laura. She did hate it, but she's also the only one that finished the whole fucking thing. And Becky still apologizes for this book. But that is Anne Bishop's Daughter of the Blood, book 1 in the Black Jewels trilogy. I'm going to give it a shot. I'm going to give it one more shot, one final year to give it a try, because it does sound like it'd be a dope-ass read. And it also, Sarah J. Maas was heavily inspired by this book. So I kind of like to give it a try, like a genuine try. But I already know that 3 women that I trust their judgment and their opinions, but I also am really good friends with them, all fucking hated it. So there's a good chance I'm going to love it. Let's just be honest about that. So I'm going to keep it and give it one more shot. So there we go. This is the 2025 list, guys. They have been entered. They're there. They get one more year before I say goodbye to them, unless they get a, Hail Mary pass. But, yep, there it is. That's this year's list. It's going to be interesting, I can tell you that. Oh, my God. It's going to be interesting. There's definitely a plethora of different things on that list this year, for sure. And this year's list was actually really hard to come up with, because there was a lot of books I'm like, I don't want to get rid of this. Even if I'm not reading right now, I don't want to get rid of it. So, now, on to some books that I'm just getting rid of because I don't want them in my house anymore for one reason or another. So, this is the part of the video where it's just an unhaul. And this is what we're saying goodbye to. So let's find out. First Vladimir by Julia May Jonas. This is one of my Book of the Month books. I have read this book and I didn't really care for it. It was supposed to be something awesome about a tawdry affair between a elderly woman and a student. While she was cheating on her husband with this student, he was cheating on her with these other girls, and then they're all, it sounded fucking epic. There was going to be tawdriness and, backstab. No, there was nothing. It was nothing. It was a boring conversation after kidnapping the guy and drugging him. And then you didn't even do anything with him. And then when you actually did, and it was completely fine, you fade to black on me and you do, that was boring. Boring. Not a fun time. So Book of the Month did not hit on this one, so it's going bye-bye. The next book is the first installment to the Ugly series by I think it's Scott Westerfeld. I think that's what his name is. But this is the first installment of the Uglies Quartet. They just recently turned this into a Netflix show. I read this for my in-person book club that's no longer together. And it was fine. It was a dystopian young adult written during that era of, the Divergent and Hunger Games. It was all during that, so it had some of the same kind of concepts and tropes and things of that nature. And it is what it is. I'm never gonna finish reading the series because I'm over that. I've lived that. I don't care to relive it again, and I just don't want it in my house. The next book is because I have a duplicate. This is The Witcher, The Last Wish by Andrzej Sapkowski. My husband, 2 Christmases ago, bought me the entire illustrated editions that came out at Barnes & Noble. So I have 2 copies of this book. So that's the only reason why I'm getting rid of this one, because I already have the full set and it all matches, and this one does not match my set. So I enjoyed this book. I had a good time. It's like a collection of short stories. I still plan on continuing with the rest of the series. My husband has read the whole series and really enjoyed it. I'm also a huge fan of the Witcher show. I don't know how I'm going to feel about the new season with the new Witcher, because how do you replace Henry Cavill? I mean, seriously, how the fuck do you do that? But you know what? Henry Cavill stuck to his guns, wanted to stick to the core material, and I applaud him on that. Way to go. Way to stick to canon, dude. So we shall see. But that is the only reason I'm getting rid of this copy, is because I already have another one and I don't need 2 copies of the same book. So, not when I have a space issue. The next book I am getting rid of is Lucian Bane's Dawn Wars. I've read a few Lucian Bane books and they are interesting, but I've actually reviewed a few of them and I will continue with that series. I'm just not in the mood for this and it's taking space. So I'm going to give it to somebody who will enjoy it a lot more than I will. The next book is Tessa Bailey's My Killer Vacation. I was really pumped about this one. I read this in St. Croix and I thought it was going to be great. It was not. It was not. It was not a good time. It was laughable how bad it was. So it's going bye-bye, which is really depressing because this is my first Tessa Bailey and I've heard really great things about her. But I've also heard, after saying that I didn't really enjoy this book, more people coming out saying that she's a hit or miss. Some books are just fucking phenomenal and others are just straight misses. There's really no middle ground. And I think I grabbed a miss for my first one, which sucks. So this one's leaving because even though it's hella short, it just wasn't, it didn't hit, it didn't work, and it was laughable. So, and not in a good way. The next book I'm getting rid of is Melinda Duchamp's The Complete 50 Shades of Alice, a fairy tale for adults. So, let me explain this to you. This is a completed series. There are 3 books in this. And I have read the first book. This is the cover of the first book, okay? The first book is called, make sure, 50 Shades of Alice in Wonderland. That is the first part of this book, and that's the one I've read. And I bought the trilogy bind-up set because I thought it'd be funny to actually physically have the book. I read this for a book club. Okay, so I thought the book was laughable. I thought it was hilarious in a dumb sort of way. Like, just the the insanity that ensues. This is straight smut, guys. Like, it's 100% straight smut. That's all it is. So if you want smut, like, go ahead, take your pick. It's not really well written, at all. But it also, it's laughable. It's just laughable. And I don't want the memories attached to it anymore. So it's going bye-bye. Yeah. The next book I'm getting rid of is Terry Pratchett and Neil Gaiman's The Good Omens. I know this is a beloved book. I bought it for a book club and never read it. And I had never any desire to read it prior to that book club. And I haven't picked it up since. And I have no desire to pick it up since because I've watched the show. I enjoy the show. And I don't want to ruin the show by saying that the book was better. This is one of those instances where I'm like, I just kind of want to step aside and just read other things. So it's just going to leave my house. I know this is a beloved book by a lot of people, so please don't come for me, but it is leaving my house. Next book is, I bought this for the Black Hat Book Coven, and that is Ava Evergreen's Semi-Magical Witch. I had a good time with this book. I thought it was a cute story, but it's middle grade, and I have no middle grade in my shelves. Like, I'm not going to ever pick this up again. I have no desire to pick it up again or really to continue with the series after putting it down and walking away for it for so long. So I'm just going to say bye. The next book is The Three-Body Problem by Cian Liu. This is another book for a book club that a member picked, and I read the first 20 pages and I stopped it because I just didn't care. This book is fucking weird, from what I read, and I've heard it's fantastic, but again, it opened up weird, and I haven't watched the show, but I thought about watching the show, and I haven't, and again, I just don't want it in my house, because I'm never going to go back and pick it up. I'm not a big sci-fi person to begin with, and that's really what this is. So, it's gonna leave. The next book is S.A. Hunt's Burn the Dark. I read this for the Black Hat Book Coven. April, don't come for me. I'm never going to complete this series. I had a good time with this book. It's about a YouTuber that films hunting witches. And it was a good time. It served its purpose, but it just didn't hit the mark for me to want to actually really, like, hardcore continue. And I am trying to clean out space, so I was being very strict with the books I was getting rid of. They had to meet some certain criteria that for me to keep, and this one just didn't hit. So April, I'm sorry, but it was a nice memory to have. So I'm sorry that it's leaving because of the memory, but nope, not so much. Let's see, what else is in here? This is because I have a duplicate copy, 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea by Jules Verne. This is the Barnes & Noble editions. I am collecting the Penguin cloth-bound editions, so anytime I get a Penguin cloth-bound, I will get rid of the Barnes & Noble edition that I have, because I like that collection better, and I do not need multiple editions of the same classic, okay? I don't. So that's the reason why this is going, is because I have a duplicate. Dorian Gray by Oscar Wilde, exact same story. I have a duplicate of the Penguin cloth-bound, so I'm getting rid of the Barnes & Noble version. The next couple of books actually are all because of this, so I'll just bring them all out at the same time. Next two are A Christmas Carol and Frankenstein. Both have Penguin cloth-bound. Getting rid of the duplicate, that's okay. I'm not really upset about it. I've held on to these for a long time. They've been well loved, and now I would like to love on my Penguin cloth-bounds because they're prettier. No offense, Barnes & Noble, they're prettier. Okay? The next book is Scream All Night. This was a book club pick that I just never read, and I have no desire to read it. I didn't even buy this book. It was somehow ended up in my collection, and I'm getting rid of it. So, I know it was a book club pick. I remember that. But, yeah, I'm just it's going by. I don't need it. I don't even know what this thing's about. Yeah, I don't care. Laura, don't come for me, okay? But, Bad Witch Burning didn't make the cut either. This is a book last year I read for the Black Hat Book Coven. Another book that it was a good time. I enjoyed it, but it just didn't make the cut of wanting to keep. And so I am getting rid of it. But it is a fun story to read, and it did have some good parts, but it just wasn't, I'm never going to go back and read this again. So next one is another duplicate one. This is the Iliad of Homer. I have this on the Penguin Cloth bound. And actually, the reason I've held on this one so long is this is actually my college copy. This is the copy that I had in college that I had to annotate and underline and study off of. So, yeah. This is that copy. So, yeah. But I have a nice, prettier copy now, and I don't need to be reminded of ancient Greek history class with Professor Cunith. I love you, Professor Cunith, but damn, I don't want to be reminded. And the next thing I'm actually getting rid of is an entire series, okay? I'm actually getting rid of an entire series. And that is the Mortal Instruments series. Partially because I don't have the first book anymore, okay? The first book got destroyed. I let someone borrow one of my books, and they destroyed it, and I never replaced it because I had the original covers, and you can't buy these covers anymore. But I decided to just say goodbye to this series. I'm never going to pick this up. I have read City of Ashes twice, and I didn't remember reading it the first time. When I read it the second time, I'm like, why does this sound really familiar? Like, why do I feel like I've read this scene? Deja vu all over the place. And then I went back in my Goodreads and realized, oh, I already fucking read this book. Did not remember it. Okay? That is how unmemorable that book was to me. And I've read up to book 3. I have not finished the series, but I'm never going to. It's been long enough now since finishing book 3 that I have to restart the series if I wanted to try it, but I'm not. I need the shelf space. These are hunkers, and I'm over the teen angst, okay? I'm just done with it. I'm done. I'm over it. So it's going to go find a home somewhere else. And the last series I'm getting rid of, Becky, you'll be so proud of me. It's this guy. This is the Salem Witches series. So this right here, A Witch's Lament by Kathy Walker, this is the first installment to this series. This was the very first book pick for this Black Hat book coven. Because originally we were supposed to do witchy series, and we were going to read the whole series. That was the idea. But this was such a huge fucking flop that we said, fuck it, and started reading other books. Just individual installments of books. But my dumbass bought the whole series because it was a really good deal. I have not read the other two, not gonna read the other two, because this was that bad. It was so bad. And also, my copies, my pages were falling out. Of course, they're not gonna do it now because, you know, I'm on camera, so they're not gonna do it now. But yeah, they were already coming out. Like, they were falling out, and I got tired of fucking with it. So, they're leaving. They're leaving. Yeah. A lot of books are saying goodbye, guys. A lot of books are saying goodbye. So that's what I've got for you guys today. I hope you enjoyed this. If for some reason you've read one of these books and you're just like, no, don't get rid of it, let me know. Let me know. But my heart's pretty much set on the ones I'm getting rid of. I'm never going to pick up any of these again, or I already have duplicates of them. But understand that if one of these books is a book that you've loved and it's leaving my house, a lot of these, I have tried the unhaul version books, the unhaul section books. I have tried all of them except for Scream the Dark because I just don't care. I just don't care to be reminded of anything about that. And I gave it a shot. It's done. And for me to get rid of a book, it takes a lot. As for the Self-Destruct list of 2024, those books are leaving my home without me reading most of them. So I don't really have an opinion on a lot of them, but that's just kind of the way this list works. But 2025 is a new year. We're gonna keep our fingers crossed that maybe those other books might make the cut. So we shall see. But I will see you guys all soon with another video. Bye, guys.